Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and hello, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. And today my guests are very special couple who just started their own YouTube channel, The Philippine in Full Effect. Stephen is from USA and Bea is from Palawan. Please join us as we are here, their story, and learn more about them. So, Sir Stephen and Mom Bea, thank you for the interview and welcome to my small channel. I'm excited, so let's get started. So,
Sure.
Sir Stephen, you sold everything in US and packed up and moved to the Philippines. Did you know Mambaya before you made this leap of faith, or was there other inspiration?
No, actually, we had met because I didn't come until 2015, but we met around 2008 or 2009 online. And we were just kind of friends. And,
Mm.
we had our lives kind of brought us to different directions for a while. And it was a 5 year break from the time that I hadn't heard from Bea or she hadn't heard from me either in 5 years. And it was early, like New Year's 2015. I was at home, striking midnight by myself. And I just happened to open up a old Skype that I had. It
Mm.
was about to update. So they said, you better save your contacts. And so when I went in those contacts, I saw Bea in there, and I'm like, I remember her. And I just sent a little short message saying hi.
Mm.
She answered back right away, which surprised me because it really was 5 year break.
Mm.
So by the time, so we started talking again in January of 2015, and by September I was here. So,
Okay. And sir, how did the two of you meet, and was it love at first sight or fate and destiny?
well, I think really we got close over time when we reconnected, and it was just a bond because we our talks were really deep, about life and our past lives, our current lives, where we wanted to go in the future. And it was very witty, it was very mentally stimulating conversations. So that's how we really got close. But it wasn't love at first sight in 2009 or 8 when I saw her. It wasn't. But we were just friends, just friends on Facebook. So, it wasn't love at first sight. So,
Okay, there is comment here. Paul Semkins, lovely couple. Yes, very lovely.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and please, Warren, don't call us number, sir. Just Bea and Stephen.
Okay,
oh,
but I don't comfortable if I don't call sir and mom because that's my habit.
okay.
All
Yeah.
right, don't worry about
Don't
it
just don't
then.
feel you have to.
Yeah, and even thank you. I often say thank you every time, every time. That's why some people say, you are so very thankful because every time, even for to give gas to you, thank you. Even for to give change, thank you. Because it's my
Yeah,
habit to say thank you and sir.
yeah.
You're
I,
so polite.
I do that too. You just show people you appreciate them. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have built a successful business. I believe it is lemonade. Do you want to share with viewers your business type, why you created it, and its current status?
Okay. Well, you know, when I came in September 2015, I proposed to Bea just a few
Mm.
days after I got here. In fact, on my birthday, October 3rd. And we were planning our wedding, and more into that. And unfortunately, a few days after I got here, one of my closest friends, like a brother of mine, he was a fellow Navy officer, he passed away. So it was like a shock for me. And when I was going to go back to his funeral, but it was several months ahead. And so we knew that we were going to have a business or do something.
Mm.
And when was going back to my friend's funeral, we went to Manila and I saw a lemonade stand.
Mm,
I said, I was surprised because I had been here a few months and never
yeah.
saw lemonade. So I was excited. I tried it and it was pretty good. And so we went back the next day and I tried it and it wasn't that good. So it just kind of clicked to me like this might be a business opportunity. So I went
Mm,
back to the States for about 3 weeks. And when I came back, we were in full wedding preparation mode.
okay.
And after the wedding was over, we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And we just decided to do the lemonade. So that's kind of where it came from.
Okay. And you know that lemonade is our favorite drinks. We don't often drink milk tea. We prefer lemon.
You know,
Lemon drink.
it's
Yeah,
strange
lemon
because
drink.
yeah, we really didn't know that it would get as big as it did. Because at the time we were in Puerto Princesa, so it's a small city. They only had a Robinsons had been open just 5 years
Mm,
prior, and they were building an SM, but it was about another almost a year, you know, up the road. And when we opened there, we thought, oh, a lot of tourists are going to come and support our business. But it wasn't the tourists, it was the Filipinos. And we
mm,
priced it just right. It was very affordable, and the amount you got was good. So it really became popular in the city. And Bea was really popular in her city because
Yeah,
mm,
I
she,
had a big network in
yeah.
Palawan because
Mhm.
that's when we first started our first location. So I had a big network. I know a lot of people, and it became known already in the
mm.
city. So it was a good start for us.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any plan to extend your business here in Cebu?
You know what, Sharon? This was our goal. Once we were
Mm,
in Robinson's in Puerto Princesa, we moved to SM when it opened. And a few months after that got going, we decided where we're gonna go. So our business plan was to come in, move into Iloilo, get that established. Then we are gonna move to
mm.
Bacolod and get that established. And then we were coming to Cebu. But the pandemic hit and it stopped. We stopped in our
Ah,
tracks here
okay.
at Iloilo and had to we shut everything down because we had 8 locations and you couldn't sustain 8 locations with nobody coming into the malls. And the
Mm,
malls did not give a really good break on their rents and stuff, even through the time of the pandemic. So it just wasn't feasible to keep it going. But we may end up bringing it back. I mean, there are a
Mm.
lot of people interested in it now, and through franchising. So it's on the verge of a comeback.
okay. And sir, if ever you would like to extend your business here in Cebu, I can give you contact of John Smolo because he is also a businessman, successful
Okay,
businessman here in Cebu, the owner of Delish Deli restaurant and owner also of one call center company here in Cebu.
oh
Okay,
great.
I will give your email to him so that you can contact.
Okay, great. That'll work.
Okay. And sir, were you married in the Philippines or other location or place? Please provide details.
We got married here in the Philippines, in Palawan, outside of Puerto Princesa. So I went through that whole process, which was really new to me at that time. From what I hear now, you can do a lot of that stuff that we had to do in
Mm,
person. You can do it online now. We had to fly to Manila a couple of times. And I think they streamlined that process. So a lot of guys that are making that leap now are lucky they don't have to run around the way we
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So for
okay.
men who are looking for like marriage in the Philippines, um, it's far much better after the pandemic. So
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What are your age and do you have any kids or planning on having any in future?
That's a good question. I'm 60
and
and
I'm turning 35 in a couple of
Ah,
weeks.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
34 now. I don't know why she's in a rush to get to 35,
I want to be, I just want to get it over with, you know.
but and I do have a daughter, but she's an adult living in the U.S. and Bea has no kids. And
Mm.
as of now, we've just decided that we're not going to have kids. Um, it's a complicated world. There's so many children here in the Philippines because we've kind of adopted, not kind of, we've been taking care of it's not really a niece, but it's Bea's cousin's daughter
Mm,
who, unfortunately, a mother abandoned her when she was
mm.
Mm.
a baby, and the father just couldn't take
Take
care of
care of
her.
her.
So we've been taking care of her since she was 5, and she's 11 now.
Yeah, so she's with
She's
us
like our
here.
kid.
Yeah, she's like our kid now, but
Yeah,
not legally.
yeah,
So we sent her to school. She's with us here in Iloilo.
yeah. She
So
just came back. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. And I just want to greet you. Happy Mother's Day, even she is not your daughter, but you accept her as your daughter. Happy Mother's Day to you and to all the mother all over the world because
Yeah,
Mother's
thank
Day
happy
will
you.
not
Mother's Day to all
end.
the Sharon's
Yeah.
viewers. And happy
What?
Mother's Day to you too, Sharon.
Yes, that's
Happy
Thank
Mother's Day
you.
to you.
Okay. And sir, what prompted and motivated you to start your YouTube channel? What is your content focus and long-term plans for the channel?
Well, about a year ago, I started watching a lot of YouTube,
Mm.
and we know we have a lot to share in our lives, with our business and just our lives, the way we came together. We feel we have a good marriage, a solid marriage, and we've just done so much. We're active in the community. So we thought we had a story to tell that could be of value to other
Mm.
people. But it kind of, I created the name in 2022, but it just sat on the books and we didn't go live. We didn't do any videos or anything. And when we moved into this house, we were still kind of locked down a little bit. So I started watching a lot of YouTube. So, but it really didn't kick off. We were going to Bali in February,
Mm.
and we were interviewed by Jay and Kay of the Black Filipino TV.
Okay.
And when we saw the reactions in the comments and how we were affecting people,
mm,
we thought, and especially the business, a lot of people were pretty impressed with our business. And so we said, let's kick this off. Let's get it going.
Mm.
And so we're only maybe about 7 weeks in right now into our channel. But we're almost at 1,000 subs and have like almost 26,000 views. So I think we're on the right track.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and J and K are very nice people and always smiling.
Yeah, we had a lot of time with a really good
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and I was just inviting them to dinner, and I
Mm.
didn't know it was going to turn into an interview, but they came with their equipment, and I really learned a lot from them because I learned how to do YouTube videos by watching him, and I'm like, oh, okay. We don't have to
Okay.
sit down and do an entire perfect interview. You can edit and cut, and you can
Yes.
record in one part. I think he got 4 or 5 parts out of our time together for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
So
and we were together for like I think 5 hours,
we were.
just
Yeah.
just having dinner and like just talking. I
Mhm.
think yeah.
Yes. And they are very nice couple like you. It's not they are not only couples, they are also best friends
Yeah,
because they are very close to each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's unique, Sharon, too, with them is that Jay and I both came to the Philippines in 2015
Mm.
within a month of each other. By 2016, we both got married, and it was both were like within a month of each other married. So,
Oh,
and Jay came for one woman, and it is working great for them,
Yeah.
and I did too. And we know another couple that did the same thing, the same year dates,
They're
and
actually from Cebu.
yeah,
We
they're
met
you
them.
gotta meet them, Sharon. It's Eric and Cindy. I'll connect
Ah,
you with
yeah,
them.
I met them. I
Okay.
met them, and I met them on meet and greet,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, that's right. I saw
yeah,
the picture.
they are
So
also very nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
we spent a few days with them when we were in Cebu last week, and you know that little special connection of coming in 2015 for one woman and marrying in 2016 is almost like a bond. We call it a batch now. We keep meeting batches of 2016.
Okay. And so, do you watch my channel? Are you subscribed? And what do you think of my content? Any particular video you like or do not like?
Well, I like all your videos. I don't think there's anything I hadn't liked. I've been watching you for more than a year. I don't know. I
Mm.
mean, how long have you had your channel?
It will be 1 year. I was starting last July. It will be 1 year this July.
Okay. So I think I'm like one of the first on board. I just don't remember. I didn't know if I was coming in, you know, and had you been around a while. But yeah, so I'm pretty much with you from the beginning. I've seen your channel grow. I mean, you've grown, and you know you
Yes.
have. And I'm talking in subscribers, but I'm talking in presentations and topics. I think
Yeah.
that you really get into the topics that, you know, I couldn't talk about, you know, maybe Bea could, but you know, as a foreigner, we can't approach certain subjects. So I think you're giving your viewers a very good insight, especially, you know, with the intimate and relationship stuff that is pretty complicated here. And I think you present a fair shake, you know, to guys, like letting them know you're dealing with real people here. You're not
Mm.
dealing with, these aren't just a pile of women here. They're, you know, real
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think that's
because yeah, my content is based only on the problem that I encounter because it's really happening here,
mhm,
and especially other Filipina doing not good to foreigner. Even they have Filipino girl boyfriend, but at the same time they have foreigner boyfriend, and then me, I don't like it because even me, I had a cousin, and then she has a girlfriend, and then her girlfriend has a foreigner also, and then they are in cohabitation relationship, but at the same time she has a foreigner, but when foreigner come over here they live together, but my cousin is stay at home, and then when the foreigner send money to her, she purchase solar panel both to my cousin, which is not good, and then me, I don't want to tolerate on that
Mm.
because karma is not good. If it's back to you, you will receive karma much more triple the hurt that you give or you do to people.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's, you give a good view of both sides. You've seen the foreigners come and manipulate the women, and you've
Mm.
seen
Yeah.
women manipulate the foreigners. So you know you're balanced in your views. It's just not
Mhm.
one way. But I've been enjoying it because I do see you growing as an interviewer, and you know it's you're getting better as you go along because you're comfortable, you know, you weren't, it appeared that you weren't that comfortable with your English early in the beginning, but now I think you're kind of coming around. It's flowing
Okay,
much
thank
better.
you. Thank you. Okay, were you married in a church, online, or in the US or the Philippines?
Goodness. I'll let Bea answer that one.
Yeah, so we got married in Palawan. It was a beach
Ah, okay.
wedding. Yeah, so we had all the preparations here, and it was a beautiful wedding,
Yeah,
I would
yeah, it really
say.
was.
So yeah, so we got married here.
But it was by a pastor, right? Yeah,
Yes,
pastor.
so
It
a
wasn't.
pastor, a Christian
Yeah.
pastor wed us.
Ah, yeah, see, same on my cousin, pastor also, because
Mhm.
if it will judge, it takes a long time.
Mm.
Judge, and even the church too, the Catholic Church. I think there's more steps you have to go through
Yeah,
to get married in the church. So it worked out well for us. It was a really nice wedding and really big. A lot of people came.
yeah. And do you live in Palawan or Iloilo? And why the decision to live in this area rather than a large expat? expat areas such as Luzon?
Well, we were living in Palawan for 2.5 years, and like I mentioned, the reason we moved to Iloilo because
Mm.
we had never, well, Bea had been to Iloilo years ago,
Mm.
before it even the airport is changed now. It's not even where she landed. Um, so we moved to Iloilo, and it just kind of grew on us. It's a great city. It's super clean. It's a working class city, so it's generally pretty quiet. People go to work, and they go out to certain places. They're to enjoy and eat and stuff like that. But it's not a big hangout city. Um, and I kind of enjoy that. There's no heavy expat community. If you like
Mm.
a expat hangout coffee club or anything like that, a lot of the expats here are just living quiet lives, and they're just you might see them at the mall or maybe at a restaurant or something like that, but we don't really hang out here. And so I just felt comfortable. It grew on us, grew
Okay.
on me really fast because you have all of the resources of a large city without the large city. And there's a SNR here. There's a lot of restaurants. There are a lot of coffee shops. Really diverse restaurants. And so it seems like will make this our home. Although I was pretty impressed with Cebu, but if I could live up in the mountains in Cebu, maybe, but not
Yeah.
the city area. You know.
Yeah. My friend also said Iloilo is very nice and clean.
Yeah, it's super clean.
Super.
Yeah, and that's because of the mayor. They have the mayor Trenyas. From what I hear, we came in just at the beginning of his term, and
Mm.
he's really cleaned up the city. They have policies,
Mm.
back that promote cleanliness and community. So people are really proud of the areas they live in. So
And
it tends to be
Sharon,
pretty
they
clean.
they actually have like a department in the city called
Mm.
beautification program. So they actually
Ah,
have like,
okay.
yes. So if you have some time to visit Iloilo,
Yeah, you have to come, Sharon.
you'll see a very it's very different because
Mm.
we experience Cebu, and it's a very different feel. I would say that Iloilo has that city feel, but it also has a province feel to it, so it's
Ah,
nice.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are areas here that are turning into something like BGC.
Mm.
So there's a lot of
Mm.
building, construction, and progress here as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So you kind of get the best of both worlds. I don't think it's going to be a secret for too long. There'll be a lot of people who,
Okay. You state you will have information on your channel on immigration travel requirements out of the Philippines by Filipino. I assume you mean off boarding or off loading. Can you provide the basic requirements now to viewers? Because sir, me and Weng, we will go to Thailand next month.
oh, you going with
I would like
when?
to know. Yeah.
Oh, great, great. That's going to be fun. I follow her blog too.
Okay. Could you provide what are the requirements, sir?
Well, I think Bea can provide better than me because you know we've done a couple international trips, being married, and so it makes it a little bit easier,
Mm-hmm.
for her, especially going to Bali. Having us next to each other, walking up to the immigration booths, um, it expedited. But I think she could give you a better insight of
Right.
requirements.
So for Filipinos traveling for leisure, I think it's important for you to have. I think you're already monetized in YouTube, so you
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to help.
that's gonna help. You can show them your income from YouTube, things like that, or any bank statements you have, your itinerary going to Thailand.
She's
Um,
yeah, yeah, Tyler.
yeah. So
And that you own the house too, Sharon. You know, you have your
Yeah.
daughter here, you own a house. So those are types of things that will help both of y'all
Mm-hmm.
to travel out.
Yes.
Anything?
And sir, it's me who sponsor my friend.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if
And
you
I
come,
hope.
just show all of your paperworks, like uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
financials and things like that.
Yeah, just bring as much as you think you would need to prove,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that you're stable, you're coming back,
Mm.
your hotel reservation, your
Plane ticket
plane
coming
ticket
back.
coming back, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the most you can prove, the better.
Okay. Thank you.
And if
Okay.
you think of anything else, just contact. You have a contact information.
Okay.
We'll be happy to help. I know it's kind of stress thinking about
Yeah.
leaving, and then what you have to go through is pretty
Also,
stressful.
I guess if you're are you leaving from Cebu? Like it's a
Yeah,
direct.
lapu-lapu.
Right. Okay. So that's better
Hmm.
because if you're gonna be going through Manila,
It's
it's
hard,
it's
yeah.
much more stressful in Manila airport. So if you're going out of Cebu, that's much better. Just come as early as you can.
Yeah, go early, like 4 or 5 hours earlier
Yeah.
than your flight. Five
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, that's my plan also. And my decision was right because when we purchasing a ticket, the available flight will be actually our plan is June 23, but the travel agency told to me that June 23 we will stop in Manila, Cebu, Manila, and then Manila, Thailand. And then I said no because mostly the very strict immigration officer is in Manila airport. So I decided, can you find another way? So fortunately, there is June 24 Cebu going directly to Thailand. That's why we are so very happy.
That's good.
That was, you don't know how much headache you've saved yourself by doing that.
Yes.
I don't even like, as a foreigner, I don't like flying. Much rather fly out of Cebu than Manila. It's just
Okay.
always really stressful in Manila.
Okay. Sir Stephen, you said it's not easy to start business in the Philippines, yet you have successful one. Please explain.
Well, if you're a foreigner, Westerner, and I'll use the U.S. for example because that's where I'm
Mm,
from, how business is done here is completely different. I mean, there are
mm,
some things you can relate to, of course, but just the processes you have to, the different regulations, the taxes, um, is completely unlike what we are used to. Say for
mm,
even for our kiosks, just the approvals. In some ways, it's actually easier because the
Mm.
approvals you need to get in the USA are much more strict than here. Like for instance, we didn't even need an active running sink. You could
mm.
use those little blue containers with the
Yeah,
twist faucet as your sink. But in the States, you'd have to have a food prep sink, a hand washing sink with hot and cold water and stuff like
yeah.
that. But here, no. Yeah, so, but I did. I built a self-powered sink. At least we couldn't get hot water because that would have been
Mm,
way too complicated. But at least I had a sink that took in fresh water and disposed dirty water. So it's a bunch of things like that, and I couldn't have done it without my wife. I mean,
mm,
there's no way a foreigner can come in here and build something like that unless they have a really good partner, whether it's a fellow Filipino guy or businessman or something. But even in those situations, say if you have a
mm,
successful Filipino businessman, they're still doing things differently. So that doesn't mean everything will go smoothly. But if he's a very sharp business person, I think they're on a kind of a different level.
Mm.
But I mean, I had to fight my wife on a lot of things, that I insisted we do it this way and this way. And it paid off. I mean, she knows now that it paid off. But she was like, we don't have to do it that way, and I'm like, no, we're gonna do it this way because it's a higher standard.
Yes, and if like when you're a foreigner trying to, have a business in the Philippines, you need to pack a lot of patience
Mhm.
with the government this that you need to go through, because there's no such thing as online transactions, like do it yourself online transactions. You really need to go, and there's going to be a lot of people doing the same thing. So lines and queues are everywhere.
That's what
Yeah,
kind of blew my
exactly.
mind, because initially the very first step is, one of the very first steps, but the first step to move in the government aspect of it, we had to go see the neighborhood captain. And I'm like, what are you
Mm.
about? A neighborhood captain to start a business? And then we go one day, oh, he's not here that day. We go another one, oh, he's at lunch, come back. We had to actually catch this guy and get his signature to sign off to even start the business. And so it's things like that I think foreigners, they're not used to that kind of stuff. We can go to City Hall and get it all done in a couple of hours, but here, no.
Yeah, in the Philippines, patience is a virtue.
It is. And that was a learning curve for me because I was moving at 100 miles per hour, and the Philippines moves at 830.
Yes. Sir, when I was in the CFO seminar, that believe it or not, I've been in the queue at around 2 a.m. in the morning, and then the office will open at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I finish 8 p.m. in the evening.
What? That is crazy.
Yes.
That's so weird, because when I went to have my CFO certificate in Manila, did you go to Manila or Cebu?
Cebu, I got mine when it was 2014.
Okay, because when I did Manila one, before lunchtime, I was done. I guess there are much more Filipinas getting it from Cebu.
Yeah, I don't know because at that time there was no online
Hmm.
appointment. Yeah, you must go there in person. So you must be in the queue very, very early. And I didn't realize when I was there 2 a.m., I told to myself, okay, maybe I am on the fifth on the queue. But when I was there, I was surprised because I was on the 15 on the line.
Okay, that's
Well,
crazy.
I don't think I'm going to complain anymore about the 4 hours we spent in BDO Bank to pay our mall rent for an SM because 4 hours and now I hear this. I have something to really relate it to now.
Yes. Sorry, do you own property or rent in the Philippines? Do you recommend buying or renting? Why or why not?
Okay, well, right now because we want to live in more in the city area. The 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 cost of land is a lot higher, or if you want something bigger than 250 square meters per se. So we've decided to just save because I would never really, especially when you're up in age like I am,
Mm.
get a bank loan. The interest is extremely high, and the mature periods are very short. So if you want to get a really high home loan, you may only have 3 years or 4 years to pay it off.
Yeah.
And so of course, your notes are going to be extremely high.
Mm.
So we just chose to rent right now and just save. And
Yeah.
and really, we would have been further on track, but because of the pandemic, it just threw everything off for us. We were actually buying land in a condo, and we just had to let all of that go because we didn't have that extra money coming in from the business. But what I suggest the foreigners buy, if you're married, I suggest if you are married and you have a good relationship, buy land. Other than that, it's a risk. But foreigners can own things like condos.
Yeah.
And there
Mm.
are certain subdivisions that they run them like condos where foreigners can own,
Mm.
even here in Iloilo, because we ran into that. But when we were on a title for the property or the condo we were getting, both of our names are on it. But don't if it's just a girlfriend, the guys out there, man, you are taking a risk. I would
Mm.
not do it unless you're married to the woman, because
Yes.
unless you just don't care and you can lose it, because it's just a very risky thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saving. We could buy a house in the build a house in the province right now on land with the money we have saved, but because we really want to, I want to. My wife can live in the province easy, but it's me kind of insisting let's still be kind of close to the city. But we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna read comments. Who's here? Charlie Williams. Hello, Sharon. How far do you live from David and Campbell? Very, very far because we are living in Luzon. I am in Visayas.
That's a weird question.
there,
Yeah, okay. Living
I
around
go to Campbell's as
okay.
well.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So,
Okay.
actually,
There
somebody
is
said
a question.
the scammer
Hmm.
and the player. So I guess Dread Mike 73 have watched it. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
sir. Is it relatively easy for a foreigner to start business in the Philippines?
I wouldn't say it's easy. It's easier in some ways, but because we were married, that's what really made our business work. Because as just a foreigner, over, you can't own a majority of a business. So you will have to get a Filipino partner to own a business. And I find partners that can go south as well. I've seen a lot of businesses, even in America, where they had partners and it just didn't work. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd be taking a big risk as well. But because we were married, and technically I was here, I'm a tourist. I was a tourist on a tourist visa. I couldn't own and operate a business. She owned the business. That's really her business.
Ah, okay.
But we're married. I had like some poetic license to
Mm,
get involved with running the business and dealing with the malls and stuff like that. So I wouldn't, Timmy, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's definitely doable. You have to really find something that'll work. You can't copycat a lot of other places because the competition is just too high.
Let me add into that because we have a friend who is from Portugal, Portuguese,
mm.
Boris. We will be featuring his business and how a foreigner started a business in the
Yeah,
Ah,
Philippines.
okay.
He has a cafe,
incredible cafe.
incredible business in Palawan. We went there last December, and he had an SSRV visa wherein you can, as a foreigner, have a business, but it
Mm,
has to be a corporation. I don't know the nitty gritty part of the whole process of it, but we will feature that somehow in the future.
mm.
So yes, not relatively easy, but doable.
Yeah, it's doable, but be very cautious. Don't just jump in. If you hear stuff like a piggery or things, back out, man. Those things are not those things are make money for you. Not the money you might think you're gonna make. So
Yes,
yeah,
but for Filipino businesses,
yeah, those are
those
good.
are relatively
Yeah, yeah, it's easy and good. But
I
piggeries,
want to have a farm.
she wants a piggery, but
I want to have a
yeah, she wants a farm. But I'm a city guy.
Okay. Okay. You both seem to have a special band and are a perfect match. What are the factors that you think are crucial in a couple having a successful relationship?
Okay, you want to answer first, and then I'll answer.
Okay, I'll answer first. The main thing that we did when we were still getting to know each other was we made sure that we talked as friends, as
Ah,
best
yeah.
friends, not like you courting me or something like that, because it kind of like makes you want your best foot forward, or like you want to be like perfect, and like I don't want to be like saying something that would make him go away or him with me. But we, at the very beginning that we talked, it's all out in the open. Like we ask questions that are uncomfortable,
Yeah.
things like that. Um, for for the usual courting stage, we started as friends,
Mhm.
like really ask questions. And yeah, so that's the number one thing that I would suggest, if you're courting or you're getting to know each other. And then we are really honest with expectations. Don't be coming in a relationship without being upfront about the expectations when you get together. And what else? I guess
Right.
really just the honesty that we have is very
Mm.
important. And you when you when we met in person, it's like
Yeah, it was like we
it's
knew
like the
each other.
same. For adjustments,
No, no,
no,
no.
no.
We,
Because I think some of the Filipinas, when their foreign partner would come, they'd be like totally different in
Yeah.
person. But for
yeah,
us, it was the same thing as we were on the camera or just online dating. But it's a much better when we finally met.
yeah.
So
Mm.
And from a guy's perspective, again, you know, a lot of guys get attracted first, like physically attracted first.
Mm.
I mean, Bea, and we're talking even more years ago. I mean, she looked great back then and even now, but that wasn't what jumped out at me about her. You know, in fact, um, it was she was just normal, just like she's talking now. Is exactly the way we used to talk when we did talk on webcam early on when we met in those earlier years. And she could speak really well. That made a big difference. Is that she can communicate. You can see with her English. Um, so it wasn't a. I think a lot of guys get caught up possibly with the wrong person. It's because it's this like this boom, this big physical thing
physical,
first,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't like that with us. So at least from me, you know. But if you don't, and there's a person who commented because he recognized from a story we told on from our vlog. Initially, I thought Bea was a scammer, and because when I saw her, I'm like, I didn't know anything about the Philippines then, nothing
Mm.
about the Philippines. So when I saw her, she wasn't a stereotypical Filipina look to her. And she was in a beauty pageant at the time, Miss Porter Princess.
Mm.
And just the profile picture, she had contacts in her eyes. So her eyes were a lighter color. I'm not sure, gray or blue or whatever, gray, I think, or something. And so I'm like, look at this girl. She's not a Filipina. She's scamming me, you know. But as we started talking, of course, I was judging that just by look. It had nothing to do with our communication that I thought she was a scammer. But especially when she was speaking in English like that, I'm like, no, 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 no. This is not, she might not really be a Filipina. So I'm always on guard. So initially, it wasn't a physical thing. We just developed a bond. She was singing in a band at the time, and she would set up her camera, and I would watch them perform and stuff like that. But it wasn't like a day-to-day contact in the beginning. You know, we might go a week or something without seeing or talking to each other. So the advice I would give is just take it slower. There's really no rush to find the right person that matched you. And
Mm.
over time, I won't say take 5 years like we did or 6 years. That's too long. You can do it faster than that, but just know that for both sides, the men you don't have to settle, and the women they don't have to settle as well. That well, I think there are more women opportunities, of course. You know, there's so many women here that
Mm.
are single, so it is an advantage for the guys. but I think sometimes Filipinos settle for guys they probably really wouldn't um, be attracted to, not just physically, but just
Yeah.
world views and
Eh,
things that bring them in common and stuff like that. And we had a lot in common, believe it or not, with our big age gap. Um,
that's true.
yeah,
Yes.
music really brought us together. She knew all the songs you put on your channel, Sharon. Bea knows and can sing.
Oh, okay.
We connected there because she knew all the music I grew to, and
Mm.
that's always a big one. So.
Okay, and before I start, I have another question. What are
Mhm.
your secret that you look so young, both of you?
Well, for me, and believe it or not, I haven't had the best health history. I'm a
Mm.
stage 4 cancer survivor, so I can't say, oh, my life was just easy. My body has been torn apart, but I think a lot. My family has gifted me genetics, so
Mm.
nobody in my family ever looked as old as they really were from both sides, my mom and my dad's side. So I was gifted that.
Mm.
And so all you have to do is just maintain. We're dressed like this now because we just came from the
Mm.
gym. We got up at
Yes.
5 a.m. and got ready to go to the gym. So for me, health is really important because of my bout with cancer. And I
Mm.
almost died, and I still have a lot of damage to my body that you just can't really notice because I kind of keep myself healthy. But it's just a number one priority job for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm. Okay.
eat a lot of broccoli and steamed chicken breast, and take your
Uh,
vacations and weekends you can splurge. But I haven't always been in good shape. Sometimes I get injured or the
mm.
lockdown. I gained 30 pounds over the lockdown, maybe 35, and I'm just
Mm.
back into my normal shape. And so Bea, but she's still young. So, but what's your
Yeah.
secret?
I, well, I guess you really have to keep yourself in check. You don't need to
Mm.
be strict about everything that you eat, or you go to the gym and like work out so much. It's all about the balance, and it's an all around taking care of yourself, because, and of course, if you're a mom, you're most likely looking more onto your
I
kids.
mean, Sharon, for having a kid, and I couldn't believe because I don't want to over guess. How old are you?
41. I will become 42 this year.
I couldn't believe that. I could not believe that. I just learned that maybe a few vlogs ago. Maybe it
Mm.
was a interview vlog
With
with
Jay,
Jay.
yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
where I found. And I
she's
was like, what? You know, 41 and a kid, you don't look like you're either. Like you have kid or you're 41. So,
Mhm.
so you have a secret too.
No, I don't have any secret. And you know that I never been in gym or anything. Even I just only make sometimes yoga, but just long time ago. And I think I have the genes from my mom because my mom is thin. But I don't know why I am just like this. Even if I eat two cups of rice, but I am not become chubby or something. Even my daughter, it seems my daughter. She
That's
doesn't
sports.
become bigger, even if she eat quite a lot. No, she doesn't become big.
That's a blessing because you would start to see it in your 40s. I mean, if you were gonna start gaining the weight and stuff like that after you had your daughter, and in your 40s, you'd see. So, but don't take it for granted because it could catch up with you overnight.
Yeah, and you know that Filipino women are very self-conscious.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody
Okay.
commented that, is this the couple who made profit from a lemonade? Yes,
Yes,
this is
Yes,
us.
that's
yes, they are.
we're getting a reputation now, and for all of your viewers that are watching, we will begin a business series. We've been trying to planning, not trying, but planning on starting the business series of our vlog. And it's kind of unique that we have to go back to 2016 and tell a story. So it's
Yes.
we want to do it fair justice and make it interesting and
Mm-hmm.
factual for people. So we're working on that. Pretty soon we will release our first series of business because it won't be just our business; it'll be other businesses too. But
Mm-hmm.
it'll launch on the Big and Easy Lemonade experience, and you know, we're kind of surprised. I think they are maybe more than me, but that what we accomplished from the very beginning when we're going back and doing all our research and
Mm.
revisiting the things that we went through, and it's like, wow, we were really moving at a high rate, high speed.
And our humble beginnings, so it's
Yeah,
it's really nice to see it from the beginning, because right now we're like gathering all the photos that we're gonna do for the
videos and
first
photos. Yeah.
video of our business,
Mhm.
and seeing the humble beginnings of our business. It was really nice to look back
Yeah, a lot of good memories.
and to share them to to YouTube
Yeah,
people.
yeah. But I think people will see the differences in what we were doing because we were doing a lot of promotions. We gave away trips, island hopping. Immediately when we went into the malls, we gave all the mall employees and guards had discounts. They had I
Mm.
can't remember the percentage now, but they had a discount. I think it was 5 pesos off because
Yeah,
we were
something like
selling
that.
it for
10. Yeah.
55 and 55 or 10 pesos, 5 or 10 pesos off. Um, and so that builds your loyalty right there. I
Mm.
mean, the mall would open their doors at 10 and we were on the second floor. And by 10:02,
Ah,
somebody was
okay.
at the lemonade stand, buying lemonade. And it was like that all day. So we did things like that. We gave away a couple motorcycles. We had contests and stuff that involved kids, events through events in the mall. And our kiosk was right above the
Mm.
event center. And so every time you'd say Big and Easy Lemonade, you just point up and it's right there. So it was a lot. We put a lot in it. We gave away a lot. And I
Mm.
think that's what a lot of Filipino businesses fail at is that they don't want to loosen up off of 1 peso. And we were just
Mm.
throwing it out there. And it really helped build up the business fast.
Okay, so
Okay.
JC also said that we're considered as millionaires here in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Yes, a
Yeah.
peso
Yeah.
millionaires.
That's a
Oh,
millionaire note.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and somebody is
Is that
also
Link?
asking. Yeah,
Yeah,
link.
Link. I know Link.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Link Z111. Hello, Sharon. Can you ask Stephen and Via if he got my request to help them work on some graphic logos for his business in the future? Thanks.
Link, resend that. Did you send that? Because I get things from Instagram, and the best way to do it is to go and get our email off the channel and send it to me there. Because sometimes things get kind of lost. We get a lot of notifications, so send it to me again. Right now, our logo is kind of on a lock. We our logo developed over time and we were just getting it to the point where we were definitely going to have the last one. So there might be some things I could talk to you about. I just needed to get it more in a round form so it would fit in different formats. But other than that, we have all of
Assets.
aspects of our logo. And I'll break it down, man. We can do a video call and I'll show you everything behind our logo because everything on
Okay.
there means something. So, but yeah,
Okay.
brother, appreciate your support too. Just hit me up back again.
Okay, and sir, before I continue, I would like to say thank you to my subscriber, Juan Quinones and Albert Head for the contribution of helping the children on our school and our island because they participate. They purchase selling fund, and me also I purchase and stand fund, and also table and chairs because they need selling fan and electric fan because of the humidity, and then they need also chair and table. So, thank you for that, and I will bring that stuff to the island today.
Yeah,
Thank
Uh,
you.
big props because those things are You have no idea. I don't know if your subscriber is here or has been
Mm,
here, how much that means
Yes.
to the kids in school and trying to
mm,
learn.
mhm.
It's the climate is brutal here, especially now here.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, Iloilo is on my bucket list in cities that plan that I'm visiting in the near future. Please
Hmm.
give me 5 reasons to live in Iloilo.
To live in Iloilo, okay, a
Mm.
lot of opportunity with
Mm,
jobs and business. That's one. Number two, it is a business orientated working class city. So your environments around you are generally more peaceful. Unlike when we lived in Puerto Princesa, somebody would be on their porch at 9 a.m. outside with the speakers outside, solo karaoke at 9 a.m. and they wouldn't stop till midnight or 1. I mean, literally, I had times I went out there was throwing rocks to get the guy's attention to
mm,
tell him to cut it off. So we have that. It's a very peaceful environment, very clean city.
mhm.
So if you enjoy, they've developed a lot of areas for parks. And take for instance, the mayor they've gone in and they're reconditioning every single community park square that you usually find in front of the churches, the
The
plazas.
plazas, yeah.
Everyone in the
Ah,
city is getting completely redone,
Yeah.
painted, remodeled, and restored in some areas, in some instances. All of the local markets in the entire city, a project going on right now at the same time. They closed
okay.
all the markets down, but they provided other options so that people would still have opportunities to make money. They didn't just say, "Hey, we're going to shut you down and come back." So they built all these temporary structures while they're actually renovating and modernizing the the
The wet
the,
market.
the wet
Ah,
market.
okay.
It's an incredible project. So you'd be coming into that environment. So if you're ambitious, like I know you are, Sharon, there's a lot of things you could take advantage here. Housing, many different types of housing
Mm.
options across the board, from condo living to small houses to really exclusive subdivisions. There's still a lot of opportunities there. Big, sprawling, self-contained subdivisions. They're building malls. Yeah, Robinsons and SM are putting malls in all of these areas where they're building new subdivisions that are further out toward the airport. Infrastructure is pretty good. From the airport to the kind of area you would call our BGC area.
Ah,
It takes
okay.
about, without traffic, maybe 20 minutes to get from the airport, 25 minutes. With traffic, not too bad. It's never like going from uh, Macton, Lapo to,
Yeah.
business
It took
park.
us one
Yeah,
hour
hour.
to
It's not
get.
going to take you an hour. There's an international airport that's new. So the flights now have not gone back up to pre-pandemic level, but it's creeping there because it's a small, tiny airport. It's not big.
Mm.
So we have that. The power structure is getting much better. We have a new power company, maybe the last 2 years. We've had some issues lately, but a lot of times our issues run from the national grid and not necessarily the local grid. So they're restoring all of the power. And electricity to me is pretty cheap here,
Mm.
compared to other places. Um, and so those, not a lot of traffic. There is traffic if there's an accident, of course, or
Mhm.
breakdown, but generally traffic can move pretty smoothly. And we have
Not here
really
in
good,
Cebu, very traffic.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have
So
really good government here. So I think I hit 5 reasons right there.
the
So
best
Yeah.
thing for people looking into it is to go and see it first,
yeah,
so you can
Yes.
experience it on yourself.
but come to Iloilo, Sharon. We'll take you around and show you everything you need to know about the city in just a
Okay,
week.
sir. Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
like
And
it's a
okay.
20 minute, it's like 25 minute flight from Cebu to here.
The very
Ah, okay.
short flight.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
soon. But Ma'am Bea, that's you are right. You must research first every city. That's Raul did. He visit
Hey,
different
Raul,
cities.
I hope he
Yes,
watches. What's up, man?
Raul.
You got a
Raul.
fan club for three of us here. We all
Yes.
love our.
Please
So,
act right.
yeah, please.
yeah, please act right. I hope Raul, you are closely now to finish your house renovation of your house.
Yeah, we all looking forward to Raul. Raul
Yeah.
and I bonded because I was watching him for a while as well. And then
Mm.
one day I see you doing an interview and he pops over in the frame and I'm like, whoa, what's he doing here? So I wrote him. I was saying, man, please, if you can come to Iloilo. So he couldn't do it the last couple of times, but he's definitely going to
Mm.
come and check
Yeah.
Iloilo.
It was his idea that he must appear. It seems like a surprise. And then it was his first time to arrive here in the Philippines and in Cebu. Yes.
Yeah.
And I met him again when the second time he's here. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been
3 months.
here in
Yeah.
Tacta Newton. It was accidentally because he passed away on the cafe where I sit. And then I
Uh,
said, I think that's Raul. And then I called him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. In fact,
Yeah.
Bea claims him as that's her favorite
Yeah,
YouTube
he's my
vlogger.
favorite
Yeah,
YouTuber.
yeah.
Hmm. If you are with Raul, you are always smile. Your mouth will always open for to smile and laugh. Yeah. Okay. Sir, many expat vlogger in the Philippines married to a Filipina eventually created a separate channel for the spouse. Do you
Mm.
see yourself having separate channel in the future or continue a family channel?
The only way I would do a separate channel, it would really have to be kind of a very different topic.
Mm.
And we because we work so well as a team and we're kind of used to it. That's why we decided to do the vlog together because I don't think Bea has the desire to do a channel on her own.
No,
Yeah,
no.
not off the bat, unless it's something, she could do another channel geared more to Filipinos or something where the subject
Mm,
matter would be more narrow. But because our channel covers relationships, business,
yeah.
life in the Philippines, and travel, is basically all the things we're doing together all the
Mm.
time. So
So if we would want to have something for him or for me, is gonna be a very focused topics that we would
Mm,
be discussing.
yeah,
Not everything in our channel.
yeah,
It's gonna be
mm,
very different, I would
yeah,
say. So, but we'll build into that. Maybe, maybe not. We're
yeah.
not closing our doors to that.
Yeah, and there's sometimes we haven't gotten to that point yet where maybe I'll be featured in a vlog or she will be featured on our
mhm.
channel without the other one, but not a separate channel. I don't think so.
Okay. What is your opinion of significant age gap in a relationship or marriage? For example, a 68 years old foreigner marrying a 20 years old Filipina.
Okay, for me, those relationships can work, but I think the dynamic
Mm.
is different right off the bat. I mean, we're kind of far apart, but if you look at us, it doesn't appear to be that. And because we're both kind of homebodies, I've had all my partying years. I was in the Navy, I've done all of these things before. I was a little bit more settled down. I don't have to be in disco and clubs, and I don't drink that hardly at all anymore. Don't smoke. And with Bea, um, she did it too because she sang her way through college. She was a
Mm,
professional singer and sang in choirs and for government choirs and things like that. So she was always in that club environment as well, and she's burnt out on it. So the things we're kind of on, bringing together. But if you have the age gap you said, maybe that girl who hasn't experienced that much in life
Mm.
might have a desire to do those things.
mm, yes.
And so that's a pretty big age gap, but I'm not going to criticize it because people look at us and say, hey, that's a pretty big age gap.
Mm-hmm.
So, to each his own. But if a guy is hitting 70 and the girl is in her 20s, there isn't much that they have in common, aside from
Mm,
making a comfortable home and life for each other. Um,
then that
Yeah. So
is
for me,
Lonnie.
hey,
Oh,
Lonnie, I
sure. Let's
recognize
speak.
Lonnie too. I recognize a lot of the guys from
hey,
our channel.
yeah. So it's like touring from one channel to another.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
for the age gap that you mentioned, Sharon, a 20-year-old woman, a Filipina, they can be mature enough, but I'm not super keen on that.
Mm,
It's be about how the woman is mature. How her
yeah.
mental state is mature
Mm,
enough to handle a much older guy.
mm,
Because if you're like in your 60s or 70s guy, you're gonna really have some headache when you're getting into a relationship with a really young girl, not mature.
mm.
Yeah, because I would say there are 20 something women who are matured, in their thinking. So,
Yeah.
but generally, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a no no. There are some
And
red flags on there.
a lot of guys might want to know why this kind of works as well. Is that I found in my experience, Filipinas have to grow up a lot faster and
Mm,
deal with things in life that we didn't have to deal with at that age. Because I was in my 50s when I got here, and Bea was, at the end of her 20s.
Late
What's that
20s.
dog? It sounds like there's a dog in here. In her 20s. So that was, but I was active. I was actually in better shape than I am now when I got here. And so the moving around and doing things, is not the issue. But if
mm,
you're approaching 70 and you have a 20-year-old, a 70-year-old, I don't care. You're going to have some mobility issues because I do from injuries. And they only slow you down more. Can a 70-year-old go climb those mountains in Cebu and do things like that? Some can, some really can,
Yeah.
but the majority can't. So it's those are the type of things that a guy would have to take in
mm,
consideration. But a 20-year-old Filipina is way more mature than a 20-year-old American girl. 20-year-old Filipina might be more interested in actually settling down and having a family. That's
yes.
rare in the USA. It's, we still consider them like children, but a 20-year-old Filipina may not be a child. She may have the intentions on settling and doing things, but just the maturity to deal with it is a different thing. It's experience. So.
Okay, there is a comment here, Ling Z111. No, I saw you on Jay show and the cat and lemons get my attention. I am graphic artist and thought to speak with you at some point.
Yeah, Link. I recognize that you saw us first on that particular show. I was just saying sometimes people will try to contact me through Instagram, but I do remember you from way back. Yeah, and the cat, the cat, Jay show, and the cat. Yeah, the cat is actually our real cat. It just ended up being
Ah, okay.
it started out as a joke. I was looking, I was looking for a mascot because in
Mm,
Philippines, if you have something that could dress up in a suit and go around and interact with people, that's just going to draw to your business. So you notice a lot of successful businesses, Jollibee, they usually have some kind of little cartoon mascot. But I couldn't come up with anything, man. If you try to put arms and legs on a lemon and put a hat on it, you know, uh,
mm,
that's a bizarre looking creature. And anything else I was trying to associate it with was a pelican, which is the Louisiana state bird, because a lot of the themes of my business was from my hometown. And I'm like, a pelican doesn't even look that friendly. They tried to do that for the World's Fair. It looks kind of, kind of goofy. And one day Bea was just taking this foolish picture of our cat that had a filter and it had a hat and I think and the sunglasses. And then I'm like, I superimposed the sacks and we were just making jokes about it. And it just hit me, man. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this our mascot. And it worked. So yeah, Link, man, just let's reconnect and we could talk. We could do a video call or something and talk about it. So
Okay. Sir, as you aware, there is no divorce in the Philippines, yet many wives are abandoned while the husband philanders around freely. The Filipino are held to ethical standard. What is your opinion of the disparity in labeling or ethical standards?
well, um, if you're coming here and you're marrying a Filipino here, because I've been married before, and but I'm telling you, there's nothing that feels more real than marrying in a place where there is no divorce. So that's why the decision is so much more important and the weight is heavy. So I think what happens is that a lot of guys come here with that, from that environment of, well, if it's not going to work out, I'll just bounce,
Yeah.
and we go our separate ways. But you have to understand here with, their values and laws. I mean, they'll put you in jail here for adultery. There's no way everybody damn near would be locked up in the U.S. If they did that. But so you have to respect that, and just imagine, man, that for the guys out there, you're gonna feel more married than you ever had. And I think some guys that maybe rush into it, they they can't handle it, and because they can't get divorced, they just do other things on the side outside of it. So, but the Filipinos, and sometimes well, but it's it kind of goes both ways. But
Mm,
you just have to, if you get married, you just have to really feel that this is as serious as it was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
I got divorced one time. I did it online. You had to show up in court and stuff, but you just print out the documents and fill it all out. If it's not contested, you just you're literally out the door, and that's in Texas though. But here, no.
We have some kind of that. It's called the annulment, but it's a long, expensive process. So,
yes.
Yeah, it
yeah.
could take years. so, so if you do, I mean, and I know guys that come here, they didn't have a real marriage here, but they had maybe a reception, and they get their fiancés in on paper to go to the U.S. and they actually get married there, or they take them to get them into Guam and go get
Mm,
married there. So, but if you're gonna do it that way, maybe you shouldn't be doing it, because if you just want it to be easy to get a divorce, maybe there's something to that. And so I've been
Yes.
lucky. So
yeah, and sir, there are some foreigners also, they get married in Hong Kong or either Singapore.
yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah. Some
Mm,
place where they can get a divorce. So my whole point is that if you're marrying somebody that you think, okay, this might end up in divorce. And like I said, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I went, I've been married a couple of times that didn't work, so but it's always a different feeling when you're really going to take a little bit more of a chance. At least you should be, if that divorce, um, ejection seat is right above you. But in the Philippines,
mm,
there's no ejection seat. You
mm,
weld it into the cockpit, and you got
yeah.
an issue. So to the guys that are thinking about getting married and getting serious, just make sure you know the woman, her environment, her background, her family. Don't just go by the woman, because
Mm,
you do kind of marry into the families as well, because families are so close here. Not necessarily what you hear, the family's going to take advantage of you and all of that. No, I'm not even. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that you will become part of that family, And
Yes.
so you need to take that. You're not going to marry just this girl. You're not going to just marry because she has strong family bonds for the most part. There are some Filipinos that are detached from their families because they've been abandoned, you know. So, but for the most part, you will be taking on family as your family here. And I've been really fortunate in that aspect. So,
Okay. And sir, any closing comments or question to me?
closing comments. Well, I really appreciate you having us on, Sharon. I've been a fan of yours, and so that's why you were on my list. I mean, we went to initially to meet a potential investor. It was a gentleman who's married to a Filipina, but they're living in the USA right now
Mm,
for for a few years, but they will be coming back to retire here in about a year or so. And they just happened to come in and they were going to be in Cebu a few days. And I said, okay, we'll come and meet you. And also, it was our wedding anniversary, which was April
mm,
30th, 7 years married. We were looking for something to do anyway. So I was like, all right, we'll make Cebu our anniversary destination. But I said, hey, I got to meet Sharon. I wanted to meet Eric, Cindy, and
Meet
and
and
the
greet with
true girls, the true
Calvin.
girls. So we met the true girls, and I already knew Jim, and we met them and had lunch with them. But the day before was your day, but you got sick. So
yes.
so
Yes,
the
exactly. And you know that my daughter was so very excited on that because at that day she asked me, "Mama, when we will go to travel Cebu?" And they said, "No, we will not go because I'm sick." Jam.
and I felt more bad for her because the impression I got that she was
She
looking
really
forward
excited.
to it, and I was kind of really disappointed because when you asked, when I asked you, invited you, I just assumed because I know you have your daughter with you a lot, and I was like, for
Yes.
sure you can bring her. And Bea actually met one of her. She works for Amazon, runs an Amazon
Mm.
store right now for a company out of India, and she has two assistants.
And
So she met one of her assistants and she came, she was accompanying that day with us as well. And we had a good
yeah,
time.
but well, for sure we'll meet in
Yeah.
person in
Yeah.
the
We'll
future.
be back to
Yes.
Cebu or you have to come to Ilo.
Okay.
We
Yes.
help you, have a really good stay. And
So
so,
my question for you is that what's next for your channel? What are your plans? And what is the status of your heart right now?
Okay, my status of my the status of my heart is I'm slowly taking the fears in me because I've been in the two relationship with foreigner. The one is the father of my daughter who was abandoned us, and then the second one is after our marriage we've been separated for 6 years and we never been together again until he passed away last 2020. So I don't want that. I would like that if I am ready on myself, I want that to be in a right guy that we will stay together forever for the rest of our life because I don't want to be separated again. So that's
Mm.
what, yeah, that's what I really would like because honestly I never been experienced to have partner to sleep together and waking up in the morning, having coffee together, breakfast together. I experienced that, but in a short way, just only 1 month. But I want it forever because it's different when you are together forever and then it's every day. And
yeah,
for my YouTube channel is I will do a best content or give advice as much as I can for them to be aware and to be aware some red flags and then so that they want to be in the good hands of a Filipina, not to be in a bad hands.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm enjoying because you're doing a lot more interviews now. Even with that
Mm.
little young kid, I watched that one yesterday with
Ah,
the
yeah, Jose.
Yeah, it really impressed me that these younger guys that are making this move, because I could have done this.
Mm.
I always, you're going to kick yourself if you wait too long. I could have been in the Philippines 10 years earlier,
Eric and
But
Cindy are
oh, Eric
watching.
and Cindy are watching. There they are.
Hi, Eric and Sandy.
You
Looking
have to,
forward to meet you.
yeah, you have to interview Eric and Cindy. We had so much
Yes,
fun
I
with them.
will.
And Cindy and Bea went ukai shopping one
Yeah.
afternoon while me and Eric went and sat in the Marco Polo and had pizza and chatted. So they're really good people. I think you should definitely contact them. They'll make a great, really good interview. So
And you're all in the same area. They're also in Cebu.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, they are living in Talamban. They are living in Talamban, Cebu City. I've met them during meet and greet here in Lapu-Lapu, and then actually I have a contact number of Sandy. Hi, Sandy and Eric. And then I didn't contact them before after the meet and greet because I was very busy on my mom's eyes operation.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. And now my mom is okay, so she can go back to the island now.
Yeah, they're a great interview because they have a good story too, and they're
Yes.
both fun, really good people.
This is our batchmate too.
Yeah, that's our 2016 married batchmate. So, but to all the guys out there, I just want you to know that if you are thinking about the Philippines, be very selective and careful with who you get involved with. And you can do things like grow a successful business, or maybe that's not for you. Maybe you just want that nice home life and the quiet life. And you can definitely find somebody like that too. I didn't look at Bea and think, hey, we're going to get together, get married, and grow this business. It's just when we got together and got married, the potential was there to do whatever we wanted to do.
Mhm.
And even our business shut down for the pandemic. She went and learned all these different skills, and now she's doing really well in Amazon. So it all depends on what you want in a woman, but don't expect to get a very inexperienced woman that doesn't know much about life and then try to throw her into, hey, we want to run a top level business or we want to do things. Um, a very simple woman might not even know how to make a plane reservations or a hotel reservation. When we travel, I just tell Bea, you just arrange it. I don't even have to do that. Some Filipinos don't know how to do that. And
I'm the planner. Yeah.
trying to get them out of the country is even harder if they have nothing, no type of base. So to the guys out there, there's somebody for everybody here, I would
Mm.
say. And the
Okay,
temperament.
sir, there is a comment here. Stephen and Bea, are you still in Cebu?
No, no, no. We came back to Iloilo about a week, a little over a week now. We're back in Iloilo, but we'll be back in Cebu. Or I don't know if you're in Cebu, but you're welcome to come visit us here in Iloilo, man.
And of course, we're planning a meet and greet for Calvin and Iloilo. So
Yeah,
that's gonna
Oh,
be
okay.
June.
and in June. So let's just,
So anyone who
yeah,
wants come.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And you know, Ma'am Bea, while I am looking at you during the interview, you know that you have celebrity or Miss Universe the same face. You have similarity on your face.
Who? Who is
Pia
that?
Wurtzbach. Pia Wurtzbach. Yeah, Pia Wurtzbach. You know that you have the same face on her, like
Yeah,
here.
there are people who told me that. So thank
Yeah,
you.
okay, I'm right. Yeah, Pia, words about the way you smile, the form of your face, your eyes here, and mostly it seems like you are twins.
Oh.
She was a pageant girl. Bea was, but
Yeah.
he wasn't quite tall enough to make it, even though she is pretty tall. She's about 5'5", right? Yeah, about 5'5" But you need to be kind of toward that 6 foot range, almost
Mm,
for those, high
yeah.
level beauty things. But she knows how to do the walk and speak and all of that beauty pageant stuff.
Okay, so Sir Stephen and Ma'am Dia, that's end of very informative interview. And please subscribe to their channel. It's in the video description on this video. And please subscribe to their channel. And Ma'am Dia and Sir Stephen, thank you so much for granted my interview. I am very honored and appreciate it. If you want to interview me on your channel, please let me know because I am always welcome.
Okay, great, great. We will
Yeah.
definitely interview you,
Don't get
but
sick next
Okay.
time.
I hope in person. I really like the in
Okay.
person opportunities.
Okay, no problem. Either live or in person, no
Yeah,
problem for me.
we're,
I am cool. Everything.
we're just looking for an excuse to get back to Cebu, but we're
Okay.
supposed to go to Vietnam in June, but
Mm,
but right now I'm officially, as of yesterday, a resident in the Philippines. I'm a resident, but
okay.
I don't have my resident card, and they're like, "Well, you can't go out and come back without your card."
Yeah.
So our trip is in jeopardy, but
Yeah, hopefully we'll get the cards
yeah, but we hope to
before
Okay.
that.
return to Cebu. It all devolves around what's going to happen with the Vietnam trip.
Okay, sir. Just let me know. Just let me
Okay.
know when you will be back to Cebu, and we will meet in person.
So
Okay.
thanks to all your subscribers, and we've kind of crossed some subscribers here. But everybody, please come and check out our channel, and we'll
Yeah.
be promoting your channel too as well, Sharon, just in case people haven't seen you. But I think
Okay.
everybody knows Sharon Lapu Lapu.
I don't think so because even I have 7,000 subscriber, but for me, all of us are in the same level. I mean, I don't feel that I am ahead or behind. You are behind me. No, for me, we are all equal and we are on the same level.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
so Stephen and Mambaya, and God bless. More blessing to come and more success in life. God
Thank
bless.
Take care, Sharon.
you.
See
Okay,
you
thank
soon.
you. Bye. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Bye.